Hello everybody and welcome back to another fantastic episode of Customers Who Click. If you've been listening for a while, please do me a huge favour and rate the podcast on iTunes. And if this is your first time joining us, I really hope you enjoy what we've got in store for you today. Today's topic is a really cool one. It's really fun to implement and can have an amazing impact on your business, regardless of what sector you're in. That topic is gamification. And today I'm chatting with Damien Roux, the CEO of Drimify. Gamification is really great. You can find touch points throughout your business to implement some cool strategies, whether it's onboarding new customers, re-engaging churned ones, or even actually building like employee happiness as well. Let's get Damien on to give us his top tips. Hi, Damien. Thanks for joining me. Happy to have you on the podcast. Could you introduce yourself, tell us about yourself, your background, and why you do what you're doing at the moment?
Yeah, hi Will. Thanks for inviting me. Damien Roux, I'm a senior executive at Drimify. And just to give you a bit of background about myself, after a scientific degree, I've been studying graphic design, marketing, and digital marketing in general back in France. So then I've been working with different marketing agencies for different campaigns and clients. And then very quickly, because I always kept like projects on the side for me, and so we with a school friend we decided to start our own business. That's how we created the Dreamlike agency. And Dreamlike, it's a digital agency, so we do like anything around communication, marketing, digital websites, campaigns, and we also became a specialist in gamification, like creating games, creating experiences for brands around kids entertainment. So that's how it started, really.
It sounds really good. Yes, gamification is obviously really interesting. Do you focus more on the creating those games and experiences, or do you do much in that kind of almost like gamified design? So nudging people forward through steps and.
Yeah, the way we started is that we created a network of websites for kids. So we were reaching like millions of kids online on games websites, and it was like in French, English, German, Spanish. So we had like quite a big network, one of the leading network for kids entertainment. Some brands got in touch with us to create games with their products in it. So product placement, advert gaming. And at that time, it was like back in 2007. So more, like 13 years ago, it was mainly Flash games. And then so we've been developing maybe more than 300 games for different people, different brands. And after a while, when we saw the Flash technology went down with iPads and all mobile devices not supporting it anymore. So maybe 6-7 years ago, we decided to shift our activities to HTML5 and JavaScript development for games. So that's how we started creating games for clients. So first, our gamification expertise came from clients asking us to do a project for them. And then when we saw the quality of the results we were getting from those campaigns, and the fact that we were being asked to create even more games, we decided to make it a platform. So it was an internal platform. We were using it to create games quickly for our clients. And then we said, okay, now it's working too well to keep it just for us. So that's how we decided to make it Drimify and to open the platform as a SaaS product. So anyone, any brand, everybody can come, create an account, and get started with to customize his or her game within minutes. So so that's where we are coming from. Yeah.
All right, sounds great. Yeah, so so anyone can just create their own account and create these experiences. And do they embed them on their website? Is it landing pages hosted by you? Yeah, so.
Yes, so basically today, we want, our mission is to make gamification affordable. So we believe that everyone loves playing. So we know that as soon as you embed a game, or you integrate a gamification experience within a marketing campaign or like e-learning program or a serious game, or like if you want to communicate, games are a great tool to get your message across. So that's what we do, and that's what we love about gamification, is the fact that we can have like a global impact on how people communicate. Just because games are engaging, and no matter which topic it's about, you will always find an angle to gamify a topic or a marketing message.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, games are really engaging, and you can kind of just quite easily make them about anything to either educate people or even get them to complete tasks.
Yes. Yeah, a game will just turn into which kind of content you put in it. Like, for example, if you use like a quiz, or if you use like a memory game, if you put marketing content in it, they will become marketing games. But if you put educational content in them, they will become like educational games or serious games. So it's really like an empty shell, and depending on what you put in it, it will become your final product.
Yeah, that sounds really good. So yeah, let's just talk about gamification a bit more generally then. Do you want to explain, maybe if we're talking about kind of e-commerce, maybe direct to consumer for businesses like that, what could they be doing with it? How could they fit it into their kind of marketing mix?
Yeah, okay. So gamification can be implemented at every stage of a customer journey. So if you take like the e-commerce example, that's a really good one, because you could use games at every level. The first one being engage with community, or attract the prospect to your website. So you could run, like, for example, promotional social media campaigns where you've got like a Wheel of Fortune, or a quiz, or a personality test. Let's take like for example a fashion brand selling clothes. You could start with like a Wheel of Fortune, saying, okay, get 10% discount, spin the wheel and get a chance to win discounts to spend on our website, or answer this personality test about which kind of fashionista are you, and based on the result we will tell you, okay, this kind of range of product is a good fit for you. So you've got many ways to engage with clients on e-commerce approach. So the first step is to bring people to your website. So you create a game, you engage with them, you give them a reward or a discount, and this will give them like they will want to go on your website and maybe buy more. So the good point of using games to engage with potential clients is the fact that, for example, if you post a game on social media, you will be able to extract the data from those social media, meaning that, let's say you've got 100,000 people following you on Facebook. It's great, but you don't really know who they are, because they are just followers and they are not people that you can reach in another way. When you use a game, you tell them, okay, if you want to take part, you will have to fill this form. And when they fill the form, you are extracting the data from the social media. So if tomorrow, for some reason, Facebook decides to give you less reach as a business because they want you to spend more money in advertising, the fact that you've been running campaigns where you've been collecting this data from clients, you will then get a new way, like a different way to reach them through email marketing, through text messages, whatever. So that's why it's important to also use contests and gamification and games to diversify the way you are getting in touch with your clients. Because that could be like a major issue, like if you rely too much on social media, and tomorrow, for some reason, Facebook algorithm is changing, that's you losing like all your reach and all your visibility on social media.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you say, it's a great way of moving people off your kind of borrowed platforms, like Facebook, Instagram, but also enriching that data. So not only can you get an understanding of generally what your audience looks like, they like and dislike, but you can get it on an individual basis as well.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's step one. Okay, with gamification. Then you've got once people are on your website, once they came to your website, you've got other ways to engage with them. Like for example, you could create a game. Like when they reach your homepage or whatever page on the website, you could tell them, okay, let's do like a small treasure hunt on the website. So go in this page, go in this page, go in this, create an account, and so on. And when you go on those pages, maybe you are getting like, again, like maybe more chances to spin the wheel of fortune, let's say. So you could have people coming, and when they reach your page, you tell them, okay, now go to that page and you will be able to spin the wheel. So they go, they spin, maybe they lose. And then you tell them, okay, now create an account. And when you create an account in your profile page, you will be able to spin again. So in a way, it's like you are creating some kind of discovery path for them to go through different steps on your website, but using gamification, because the fact that you are telling them every time you do something I want, you will get a reward by spinning the wheel or playing a game or whatever. This is the kind of addictive mechanic you can put in place to get people do what you want to do. So in this sense, gamification is really powerful. And we've been running a campaign for a client that wanted his customers to discover like many different sections or services and functionalities of his mobile application. And every time you were discovering a new section, you are getting a chance to spin. And this way, they managed to get people like the onboarding process was really good because people went through all the steps and were able to spin the wheel and win prizes. So that's a second way to engage.
Yeah, I mean, you see it obviously in actual mobile games a lot. If you run out of lives or something, or like a kind of Clash of Clans.
That's right.
I don't know if that's really about, but that sort of game, you're limited in the certain things that you can do. But if you want to do multiple of them, you can pay. Well, normally
exactly.
pay.
Yeah, or watch a video.
Yeah, in other games it will let you watch a video or fill in a survey or something like that to give you that ability to move on. Yeah. Now in e-commerce, obviously that's a bit difficult because you're not stopped from doing anything at any point. If you want to go buy a product or buy multiple products, the site doesn't go, well, you can only buy one product at a time unless you unlock this. But what you can do is get people to visit key areas of the site and see certain things. So for new customers, if you know that people who take this certain action on your website are 50% more likely to convert, then you can gamify that and say, well, you'll get an extra spin of the wheel if you go to this page and select your size preference.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then if you want to take it even further, you could also reward people for their purchase, meaning that we've done like many integrations with e-commerce websites where you go on the website, you buy products. And after the thank you page, the confirmation page after the checkout process, you are given, again, like I'm keeping this example, but you are given a chance to spin the wheel one more time. So we've done it for like a hotel booking platform where people, after they were booking a night on the platform, they were given a chance to spin the wheel, for example, to win a bottle of champagne, like champagne on the room. So this worked really well. And that's a way, again, like to reward the client for doing like an action you want. And we've done it also with another brand selling perfumes and fragrances, where we were giving like voucher codes. And again, like those vouchers were really good for recurring purchase. And with this, they managed to increase by 92% the basket average spend. So that was really, really powerful.
Yeah. And I think, you said you keep using that example, but I think it's key that, if you use one format of it, it probably makes sense to use the same format again and again. If you're spinning the wheel before you make your purchase, it makes sense that if you're going to have a game after the purchase, it's probably the wheel again. It would be weird if you introduced a very different game.
Sure. Yeah, no, that's right.
It would break that experience, and also I think it's really good if it works in the context of the business. So not just the rewards, but also potentially the actual game itself. I worked for Monopoly Casino at one point, so a gambling website based off Monopoly, the game. And we were looking at a Monopoly board game. So you'd be able to, you win free prizes as you get around the board, but it's actually a Monopoly board. So it really made sense because it's, you had all the created there, the assets. You didn't really have to think about that. It just made sense that would be the game.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the power of Drimify, the fact that you can customize everything. Drimify has been made around customization for the product itself. So that's why you're right when you say you have to keep the same game all the way. But the good point, again, like with Drimify, for example, is the fact that you've got many different games. So, for example, you could say, okay, first quarter of the year, we do like a spin the wheel. Then the next quarter, we change and we go for, let's say, I don't know, like a memory game where you have to flip cards and stuff like that. So, like a mechanic, like a logic you will put in place with one game, you will be able to swap the game for another one, customize it a different way, or it can be like, based on seasonality, you can do like a Christmassy graphics, or if you've got like a new product, you can adapt the game to the new design of that product. So so the fact that you can swap games and bring new concepts like all year long, that's where gamification is really powerful, because people get used to interact with your brand through games, and you educate them around your products by giving them a bit of fun. And so it's always better than just choosing, I would say, boring Google ads, That's a different way to tackle it.
Yeah. Cool. So what are some of the misconceptions around gamification that are maybe like holding people off from doing it? Why don't we see it on so many more sites?
I think it's because people, they don't really know about it yet. And some people also think that gamification is just like games and fun. And we've got like some clients sometimes that are like working in, I would say, serious industries, that are saying, oh, we like the idea of what you do, but we don't really know how to use it for us because what we do is not fun. I don't know, like we are selling life insurances, or, banks, but there is always a way to gamify a topic. So in a sense, the game will turn into what you put in it. So I think one of the misconceptions is saying too quickly that games are just for fun, for entertainment, and they won't help a business to achieve their targets.
Yeah, you're right. I think, I mean, the fact that it's called gamification probably doesn't help. If people are thinking, especially with some of the examples, if people are thinking, well, I need to, we're going to have to put a Wheel of Fortune on, or we're going to have to use a scratch card, or that sort of thing. If it doesn't make sense for the brand and for the industry, that people aren't going to do it and they're not going to explore it. But really, the gamification is more about getting people to engage with something, to move them through the process and get that task done in a more engaging way.
That's right.
And that can be a quiz, or I haven't got another example actually. Like a quiz, for example, would be a great way of saying, I mean, it can be, it can work for, mortgages, for example. If you want to get a mortgage, the gamification it's the quiz that you answer 5 or 6 questions, and it says, right, okay, this is the type of mortgage that would be best for you.
That's right. Yeah. We've got a module for that. It's like a product selector, but you can do it in a way where it's engaging, and people they don't see they are like being guided through the process. So yes,
yeah, it could work for, for something like legal services as well. Because it's not fun and games. It's what service are you actually looking for? Instead of browsing the website, just click through a few of these options in this tool, and it will point you in the right direction, and then we can get you in front of the right person.
Yeah. Also, something that is a misconception of gamification is the fact that people maybe they have used gamification. They think they've been using gamification for a campaign or for something like that. It was not a success, so they think that gamification is not for them. But when you get the right support, the right advice, the right tips, I think this can give you like another dimension to your campaign. And and sometimes we had people saying, "Oh yeah, but we've been trying to use a scratch card and it didn't work." But I think the issue doesn't come from the scratch card itself. I think the scratch card was a great idea. It was maybe more the way they've been presenting it or the way they've been giving it visibility. So that's why people have to keep in mind that gamification is not like a magic wand. It's not gonna do things for you if you don't put around all the stuff that a marketing campaign will need. So yeah.
Yeah, completely agree. It's like it's the same with a lot of marketing channels and new tools and things which aren't too mainstream. So, obviously everyone does SEO, PPC, Facebook. So if it doesn't work for you, you find another way. You hire a different person, you hire a different agency, but you give it another go. But with something like gamification, because so few people do it, there is that kind of question of, well, why isn't everyone doing it? It can't be that great if all my competitors aren't doing it. Why not? And if then it doesn't work for you in a first trial, you might think, oh, okay, maybe I won't bother with this anymore. But you're right; it comes down to execution.
And and also I think it's just like giving it a try, because I'm running like a survey with my LinkedIn contacts, and I think so far I've been talking with more or less like 200 people. Just asking them if they were using gamification or if they have ever used gamification in the past. And so I'm not finished with my survey, but so far 7 out of 10 never used it or never heard about it. So or I would say heard about it, but never they haven't been curious about it to try and to give it a try. So that's why I think it's maybe the fact that gamification is a bit too broad. It doesn't really mean anything when you think about it. You have to give people proper examples. That's what we are doing. Like, we are spending our time giving examples to clients about what they can do. But until they give you a bit more context about their project and what they want to do, it's hard to make it like a generic. Like, not all games will work for everyone. So that's why the thing about gamification is getting the right support and the right advice. Because many times people are just telling us, "Oh, I never thought I could do that, but that's brilliant. Let's do it."
Yeah, no, I completely agree. What are some of the things people need to be considering before they get into it? Obviously, it's important that someone doesn't just create an account, whip up a game, and stick it on site. So, what are those key things they need to work out first?
Okay, so the very first step, I think, is to make an inventory of what's available in terms of communication channels. So as I said, like you can have like a game, but if you don't promote it properly, you won't get any leads or you won't get any conversions. So that's identifying the communication channels to define which kind of reach you can get. Then the second part is not to get onto the game straight away without a plan, like meaning that you have to get creative and you have to think about, okay, which kind of concept is going to work with my customers. Okay, so now I've got the concept, I've got my targets. So which kind of game will do that for me? So again, like at the moment, we are planning like a series of games for a client that want like a 12-month campaign. And the first thing we are doing with him is defining all the big events of the year. So he's giving us a list of what's coming up. And based on that list, we are suggesting concepts. And then based on the concepts, we are recommending the type of game that should be used. And that's where we get what I was talking about earlier, the fact that people are saying, oh, I never thought about it. That's great. It's just because once you've got the topic, then you can make the game. But don't do the opposite. Don't expect the game to tell you what to do. The game is just a tool. And then I would say the step after that would be to try thinking about gamification on a global scale, like trying to think, okay, I'm not just making a one-off campaign. What I want to do is bring gamification as part of my marketing strategy and do it like on a regular basis. So we've got some clients, it's all year long on their websites. Some others, it's like once per month, once per quarter. So you decide, but the thing is, if you do something with gamification, stick to it. Don't expect a single campaign to bring you everything, and then that's what will give you like this long-term vision. That's what will give you like your a proper return on investment, because maybe you will be planning like, I don't know, like 3-5 campaigns across the year, but maybe not all of them will be amazing, but one of them will make the difference. And then you will understand what to do for the next year. And also another thing that's really important is to always think about gamification as a way to do like a product placement. And when I say products, it can be like anything. It can be your services. It can be the values of your company. The fact that, again, Drimify or gamification in general, it's not just to entertain people. It's to pass a message. So always think about how to add this message to the game, and don't do just a game for a game,
Yeah, you're right. It's not just something that you just kind of tag onto your marketing mix and it's something on the side. You just say, well, we've got this game, let's just push a bit of traffic to it or whatever. I think it does need to be like a core piece, really. I'm a big fan of using like personality quizzes and things like as a key part of the customer journey, because it allows you to then segment and personalize the rest of the journey to them. If you can then say, well, we're only going to put these products in front of you because that's what you're interested in, that's what's going to work for you. That, has a massive impact on then how you do your CRM, how you do your retargeting, and even the types of products that you buy in future.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And all this is just because what we have to understand and remember about gamification is that gamification can trigger deep emotions, feelings, because we've got like many games or many campaigns that we put in place where we are targeting like some kind of addiction effect. The fact that, okay, I'm playing, I've lost, I want to play again. I'm losing or I'm winning a little something, I want to play more. So that's this repetition that is really good, and that brings the addictive aspect of a campaign, and people will remember your brand, your products, if they get kind of addicted to your marketing campaign. And that's how games can help it, because if you tell people, okay, watch a video, nobody's gonna watch a video 3 times. But then if you give them a game to play, maybe like we've seen people in the past, like even recently, playing a game like up to 30 times. So when you play a game 30 times, you're not going to forget about it, So that's why you get your message across through this repetition and the fact that you are triggering like feelings and emotions from people with games.
Yeah, exactly. Like if someone's playing it that many times, they've definitely remembered it. They're definitely coming back again and again. But obviously, it's important that you haven't set up the game in a way so that people are only coming back to your website to play that game.
No, yeah, for sure.
So making sure that you're not just giving away rewards or or even just attracting the wrong people. If it actually is a game that people are just finding kind of fun and engaging to play, you're just driving traffic to your website but not achieving anything.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, so that's why one thing that's working really well is what I was talking about earlier, is the fact that you can ask people to make actions between 2 game experiences. So and for example, when I'm saying, okay, someone is playing 30 times, that's when you run a campaign for 4 or 5 weeks, for example, and then you tell people you can come back and play again like every day. So some people, for sure, the one that is playing 30 times across the months, that's someone that is like addicted to the game and they want to win something, because each session every day was giving you points to put you up in the leaderboard. So yeah, so obviously those people might be the ones that want to win the prize for sure, and that are only focused on the prize itself, but still they are still playing with your products, they are still in contact with your brand, so they will remember you anyway. And then you've got the other people that might come to play like 3, 4, 5 times across the months, and those people are your target and are maybe your existing clients or new potential clients.
Yeah, exactly. I think you've covered quite a few of the mistakes anyway in explaining that, but are there any, apart from kind of treating it as a one-off project or a quick win, or just sticking it up on the website and not really doing anything with it, are there any key mistakes people, or common mistakes people make, maybe with the actual game itself?
Yeah, that's what we said. Yeah, the fact that some people could have like a short-term vision and just like run a one-off campaign with, and then think, okay, this campaign didn't work, so it's not working for me. The fact that you have to communicate and make the promotion around your game if you want it to succeed. And then it's like if you think about it, it's like if back in time when people were dropping flyers in the letterbox. It's good to have flyers, but if you don't distribute them, it's not gonna work. So the games are just the same. That's a tool like a flyer, but if you don't give it to people, people are not being engaged with them, and you will never get your return on investment. So so the main thing is not to have like a short-term vision or underestimate the fact that your game needs all the marketing tools around it to properly work.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it can make sense, really. Do you see any kind of trends coming in the way, in the way businesses use gamification? So obviously not. Hopefully, we'll just see more of it. But in the types of games that we're going to see, or maybe just how customers interact with them, or want to interact with them.
So I don't see like any particular trends, because I think games were there before us and will be there after us. So games are universal, and most popular game mechanics are just like evolving with time. So before they were on paper, then they came into Flash technologies, now web applications and apps and stuff like that. So I think it's more like how deep they will be integrated. Like you can see that all sectors now are trying to gamify everything, like the customer journey, or businesses that are trying to gamify the e-learning programs for their staff. So I think gamification is just, especially with the current pandemic, the fact that people are working from home, it's all remote, we spend our day in front of a screen, and we lost this kind of human feeling. Gamification can be a way to bring back this kind of interaction with between people, or at least when you play a game and your colleagues, they've been playing the same game, it can be like a conversation starter or something like that. So it's more like for me the trend will be the fact that gamification might become more and more mainstream, but again it has to be done the right way.
It's interesting what you were just saying there, actually. Obviously I'm self-employed, I work on my own. It's not an agency, it's just me as a consultant. So my interaction with people, particularly the last year, has been pretty low. I've had lots of sales calls and I've got clients, so I have chats with them, but it's a little different. I don't have those. I haven't got a colleague sat next to me anymore, or I haven't got someone at a hot desk. So these could be really good ways to build that networking and that interaction with people. I really like. There's a website called Lunch Club, which you put in a few key requirements, and then you give it a few calendar options for when you're free, and it will just book you a meeting with someone, which I think is really cool. But they potentially could go a little bit step further with some gamification to really create those good matches.
Yeah, exactly.
I've had some great conversations, but that's kind of it. You know, they've just been interesting conversations with new people. If they were a bit more targeted, and did that through gamification, that could work really well. So,
but that's a concept we've. It's funny because that's a concept we're working on with a client. It's like some kind of business-like, Tinder-like gamification experience where basically you have to swipe a selection of people that are in your company. Based on interest and like three different. I can't tell you more, but based on three different factors of their profile, you have to swipe them in different rounds, and then you end up with a short list of 3 people. And out of those 3 people, this will organize you like as you said, like a meeting. So that's the idea behind it, like trying to have like a Tinder like approach for business.
So is that internally, did you say? So it matches you with colleagues, just maybe colleagues you haven't met.
But this can be expanded, like it's like that just now because that's a request from a client, but this could be expanded. You could say, okay, now you've got a community of graphic designers on Facebook, put the game in there. If you are the group owner, put the game in there. People will sign up and say, okay, I'm Will. I do graphic design. I like football and so on. And then you could recreate the atmosphere of your hot desk and your co-working office just online this way by matching with people with the same interest as you.
Yeah, no, I really like that. It's a really cool idea because obviously because of the pandemic, I have been looking for more kind of networking opportunities and just meeting people who I can have an interesting chat with. You know, I'm not even looking for kind of business development networking opportunities. It's literally just to these people.
Talk to people. Yeah, just talk to people.
Similar interests. getting quite desperate now. It's just it's been too long, but
and the thing, okay. So one of I missed one. Then one of the trends I see is the fact that, and we can see it just now, is the fact that event agencies are going to change the way they operate drastically. Like we are working with, obviously with Drimify, the fact that we've got games available and stuff. We are working with a lot of event agencies, and those guys before they were like putting games on during exhibitions or like things like that for the real life events, and because like everything has been cancelled or postponed, like now all the events are going digital. And we can see that our games are still valid because now instead of being on the stand at the exhibition, they are now directly on a Zoom conversation or like a Microsoft Teams live meeting. So for us, we didn't change the way we offer our service, but for event agencies, they are recreating the way people are going to do events in the next 10 years, I think.
Yeah, definitely. It sounds really interesting because I've done a few online conferences and I don't find them particularly great, to be honest.
But keep in mind it's been only like 6 months or so where so it's like early stage, but with what we can see coming from our clients, I think like in the next couple of years we will see like huge improvements in how digital events will be made.
Yeah. That'd be really good.
Gamification is a huge part of it. Like the fact that you can have like a speaker talking about something for an hour, and after this hour of half an hour of speech, then you tell people, okay, now we've got a client that did that. Like they tell people, okay, now let's meet at the arcade, and in the arcade there are Drimify games, and people can play the games for 15 minutes and then come back for the next session.
Oh, that's cool. So go check them out. So, do you have any pet peeves when it comes to marketing?
I would say maybe one. That's when people are sending like automated marketing emails and they don't put like the unsubscribe link in it. So that would be the main one and maybe the only one.
Yeah, I mean, it's illegal, really, isn't it? So
no, it's not even about the legal aspect. It's just annoying. Like when you don't want someone to email you like 20 times and there is no unsubscribe link. So yeah, that would be the only one.
It's almost like they've taken a conscious decision to remove it.
Yeah.
I find it difficult to believe that they've just missed it off by accident, because most email providers add it at the bottom of your email for you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And for me, it's like also to be back like in the real life configuration. If someone comes to talk to you like 3 times and you deny it, I think the person is not going to come back again. So I think, digital is an extension of our life now. There is no way to go around it. Everything is turning digital. Even now shopping, you have to order online and get delivered for everything. You can't, it's not recommended to go into a shop. So I think email communications should be treated the same, like the fact that give the choice to people. So obviously you can flag them as spam, but I think that when you are sensible and when you work within the marketing industry, people should be able to opt out.
Yeah, absolutely. So just finally, before we end, do you have a particular aspect of marketing that you feel is quite underrated?
There would be things around personalization and customization of the user experience. So we are in a mass market, and with digital going up, like we discussed, the fact that everything is turning digital now. I think personalization is a good one. The fact that I think there are a lot of artificial intelligence, machine learning coming to help for that. But like trying not to send the same email to everyone, or trying not to offer the same experience to everyone. So some kind of the way marketing can branch to offer like a personalized experience to people.
Yeah, really agree with you on that one. I think it's really, really important, especially the more we go online. If you haven't got that salesperson with you, so what can we do online to give that more personal experience? Really awesome stuff. I love gamification. Really hope we start to see it more and more. If anyone wants to get in touch and find out more, what's the best way of doing that?
The very best way is to get in touch through Drimify.com. So you can, and even before you get in touch, our recommendation is for you to give a try and try like all the demos we've got available. So this will give you a feel of what can be done and the type of games available, keeping in mind that we are adding new ones all the time. So Drimify website first. And then if you want to chat, or if you need like advice, or if you don't know how to tackle your gamification strategy the right way, you can get in touch with me on LinkedIn.
Awesome. This has been really great, Damien. Thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, thanks, Will.
I really love gamification, and I hope we see more businesses using it over the next couple of years, hopefully. Customers want to be more engaged. They want these interactive experiences, which may give away more personal data to a brand. But as long as it's clear what that's going to be used for, and the business does in fact use it in that matter, no one's really that bothered. I think things like GDPR have really kind of blown that out of proportion a bit. But remember, gamification doesn't have to be about actual games. They're quizzes, tests, and just other ways of engaging people in a way that kind of provides a bit of value to both sides. So check it out. Head over to the Drimify website to see what they're all about, or give gamification a Google to see what's happening out there. If you'd like to learn more about gamification, just reach out to Damien on LinkedIn. Any other podcast questions, feedback, guest requests, etc., again, send them over to will@customerswhoclick.com. Next up, I've got Robin Coles joining me to talk about how brands can make better use of promotions to engage and value up their customers. But until then, keep those customers clicking.